Wow. Our cameraman, he's doing tricky things. Hello, people. That's a long because I don't know what I'm doing. It's been a long-ass day. It's been a long-ass week preparing the thing that I'm going to show you now. Tomorrow, FELIX LEHRMANN is going to come in. FELIX LEHRMANN is one of most, this is going to happen a lot, is one of Germany's most booked studio drummers. And why am I hiring a studio drummer? Well, because I love the idea of drumming in the style of, actually not drumming, drum programming in the style of blah, blah, blah. And then showing you that on a real kit with an amazing drummer that can show us all the techniques. I transfer that into a drum program and do it artificially. And we'll teach you little tips and tricks on how to effectively do these techniques. And they're more difficult than boom, chuck, and whatever. We're going to tackle 80s drumming, Jeff Porcaro, Stuart Copeland. We're going to tackle 50s and 60s. We're going to do progressive rock. We're going to do hard rock, all that stuff. We're going to do individual packages. And in order to film that, we are going a little bit further than we should. Because technically it would be enough if the guy just sat next to me. And then, I don't know what Tonio is doing. Are you getting seasick? I'm getting seasick just looking at him. It's Tonio behind the camera. So, with me on this amazing journey is Tonio behind the camera, is Robin up there in the switching room. And all day today, we had Pascal here who handled all the audio stuff and mic'd the drum kit and did the insane audio routing, which I'm going to show you a little bit just to give you an idea of what we're doing to make an insanely cool series of drum programming courses, for which technically, why even have a drummer? But that's what we're doing. So I'll be sitting right here, and on the floor, there's the green screens. So all I gotta do is pull those up. So for about a week straight, 5 days, I'll be sitting in this little cubicle that we're gonna make with green screens. That's not gonna be a lot of fun. So, and I'll be sitting right here, doing a thing in Cubase, you know, doing like a, and so on with Superior Drummer and BFD, Get Good Drums, Native Instruments, all the different things. So here's the thing, right here, I can see what's being switched to, and you're going to see Cubase, you're going to see me in the corner, like in my a big drum course, but of course you're also going to see Felix up in the living room on the kit. Now this is going to be the main recorder. Got my hard drives here, I got prepared 3 2-terabyte drives, and trust me, they're not going to be enough. And we're going to record to that. The main problem is, if I'm small in the corner, right there, which you can't see right now, but I will be small in the corner right there, and I'm sitting right here, looking over there to see what's going on. That doesn't work because I'm looking outside of the frame, and that looks stupid. So I have a monitor set up over here so that when I'm talking to Felix, I'll be up in the corner, and instead of looking this way, I'll be looking at him, which is just a courtesy. So that's why we have a little screen right there, so that when I'm doing this, I can look over there and not here, which I will still do because I messed that stuff up. In order to see what's going on, I have the main shot on this big screen as well, and I can see all the different cameras right there, and I think we actually have more than those 8, but I can see what's going on up there and see the different angles. I'm not in charge of them. That's Tonio and Robin's job. You're asking how am I getting the Mac onto there? That's actually fairly simple. I have a Thunderbolt to HDMI adapter. I know now it gets boring. By the way, Tonio is filming me with a Sony FX3, and I'm using a Sennheiser G4 wireless, which hopefully works. I've never tried that. It's an analog wireless, not digital. So, a Thunderbolt to HDMI adapter going into this Video Assist from Blackmagic. And that then goes SDI into the other room, and that literally gives me the Mac. So I'm not doing screen capture. It gives me the Mac as if it's a 4K camera. The resolution is going to be, the size is going to be 1080, but in 4K resolution. So for me, I have a little bit less space on the screen, but you don't care about this. So that's what's going on in here. Relatively simple. I have the green screens, I have the Mac, I look over here, I look over there. That's the camera that's filming me in front of the green screen. That's a Sony a7 III with a 16-35 for the people that care. It's my camera that's called the favorite. It's always here right next to me, getting the wide angle of the room. Now we're gonna go over to Robin, where we're gonna have much less light, but we'll see what we can do. He's behind the kitchen. Oh, Tonio and I, we bought cereal, then Leslie brought all the good stuff. So we have a little bit of a breakfast buffet happening because we'll be here for 5 days for you nutzos. And obviously the coffee maker is the most important thing. Hey, I can do this. Come on, light. So, Robin's in here, manning the switcher, semi-manning the mixing console. We don't know what Pascal did. We just hope it works. Because my mic needs to go up to Felix, Felix's mic needs to go to me. All of Felix's mics from the drum kit, which is 15, we're micing this with 15, we have 15 mics on the drum kit, have to go to me. Cubase has to go to him. Everything needs to be recorded, so later I can go through all the audio and mix it, cutting everything out we don't need. That is happening in the PreSonus Studio Live 16. We're recording everything on here on an SD card. I bought the fast cards. In case we need to see Tonio or Robin in here, if they have to tell us something, they can actually go click Shift, and actually there's us. So we have a camera set up on them as well, just to get some, thing happening. We're using the ATEM switching system, ATEM 4. They see what's going on. They see more angles than I do. There's 8 of them, but there's actually more up here. And we even set up a super source, which is going to come in handy for the course because we're going to see the top view, the backside view, the kick drum. We're going to see Felix playing there even with the second hi-hat angle, and you can see what's happening in Cubase. So that's going to be pretty much the safety shot. I mean, that's the shot for, okay, we see everything. And then, they can go to the Mac, and we move with me in the corner, It's this REM. So, at some point, we're going to, come on. This is, by the way, the only shirt that Robin wears.
Yeah.
I've never seen him in any other shirt than that.
It's a good shirt.
It is a good shirt. So, I'm going to record the whole thing on this Sumo from Atomos in ProRes, but as a backup, they're recording everything on the HyperDeck Pro right here, so we have it twice. Because trust me, we're hiring a very, very amazing studio drummer. We do not want to lose anything. But we only have the one shot, so whatever they switch to. Well, at some point in the course, we even have a red camera, we're going to see that, with a kind of main shot, and then a slightly wider main shot with a black magic. Yeah, similar shot, but differently awesome. So, when we record, when Felix is going to play a full song for us, I want that material for later. I want the individual tracks, which we have, but I also want individual cameras. And the problem is, we can only record one angle. Or can we? Well, I think we can do more. So, Tonio is going to be up there, moving around with the FX3. The Canon has built-in recording, so we're going to record that separately on the Canon as well. So we have that angle for sure. We have a moving around angle from the FX3, and we will record, well, let's see. We'll record the bass drum. This Blackmagic Video Assist has a solid feed continuously, only showing the kick drum mic, the kick drum camera. So that's coming out of this video hub, where I can define where what goes. This has 40 inputs and 40 outputs. So I can define, please send me the kick drum camera, not even going through the switcher, continuously onto this monitor. So we can record here, and that means we're recording that separately, even though we're going through a switching system. The same thing, this Shogun from Atomos is recording the top camera. See this? Yes. Yeah, 24 mil, that's cool. And here the Ninja 5, we're recording the hi-hat camera. So in the end, and down on the Sumo, I can record the red angle right there. So we'll have that angle, the kick drum, the overhead, the top, the hi-hat, the movable FX3, and the Canon. We have 6 cameras in 4K recorded individually for a full performance from Felix in each pack. And that's pretty damn dandy, if I might say so. Tonio, don't die.
Not yet.
Give me the camera for a second.
Sure.
I'll show you guys the backside.
Huh, here.
No, not Tonio's backside. What? No. This is what the back of the router looks like. I think I have almost every in and out used right there. The switcher actually isn't that bad. It's also fully full down there, but that's the router. And I think on the outputs, I have none left. And on the inputs, I have 1 left. So this is 40 by 40 and it's fully loaded. And you can see, actually you can't. Well, I can do this. Boing. You can see a lot of these cables are going down into the studio, but not all of them. Some of them are going through this big-ass hose. And follow me, Tonio. Let's follow the hose. Get it? Follow the hose? That was funny.
I'm the Tony Ho.
No, I wasn't thinking that. So this is going through my house. And you can see we have 5 SDI cables in there. 2 or 3 going another way, and it still wasn't enough. We had to add another cable. So up here, come, Tonio, come here. Come here. So I had to modify my living room a bit. Still have to clean up a little bit before Felix shows up tomorrow. His big-ass drum kit showed up in 2 giant boxes. We moved my couch over here. And we can move the ladder. So, stay. So, this used to be my living room, and it will be again in a week or 2. Beautiful DW kit that came in big-ass boxes, professional stage stuff. They sent that here, very, very cool. So we set that up, and as you can see, Felix is a lefty, which is gonna annoy the living fuck out of me looking at him, but it's gonna be good. I just have to look at the lefty, which is gonna confuse me. So, well, we have to turn the TV on. So on the TV, he'll be seeing the main shot. So he always knows, look, there's Tonio. Go away now. Why is this there? Here we go. So he always knows what's being recorded, which is important so that he can react. Okay? If he knows the bass drum is being recorded, he knows to show that. If he knows we're on the hi-hat cam, he can show this. So he needs feedback over what camera is active. That will also show him if I'm being recorded or if I'm picture-in-picture, so he can actually react to me. But that means he won't see the Mac screen, he won't see Cubase if it's not switched to Cubase. That means if we're switching to the bass drum, he doesn't know what he doesn't know what I programmed. So we have a continuous screen here that's being fed Cubase, again through the video system. That's coming from below. Let's go into some tech stuff. I have an SDI to HDMI converter in 4K, so that's coming again out of the big router downstairs, the 40x40 router, and I can send anything to this screen. If Felix says he wants to have a specific camera, bam, I can have that on there. I can literally send any signal in the system to this monitor and to this monitor, because back here we have another feed with an SDI to HDMI converter, and yeah, I can send anything there. So again, he sees the main feed, he sees Cubase only. He will hear me, I will hear him. That is guaranteed through his extra aux send. We have 2 of these stage boxes from PreSonus on the Studio Live. I've got one downstairs and there's one here, 16x8. And when we're roaming around in the room, there's a talkback from the guys in the switching room going out of these baritones here. So just like a really cheap little speaker, which is just gonna tell someone in the room, hey, go move that mic. And Felix is gonna get his in-ear mix with this Sennheiser G4 in-ear wireless transmitter and receiver, which is over there. Yeah, let's look at the Starbird. I have 2 Starbirds now because I love the damn thing. So the second Starbird's parked over there.
No, we don't.
Nah, that's a chaos room. The first Starbird is here. And that technically holds a mic or maybe a camera. In our case, it holds a shit ton more. So on the Starbird, we have a nanlite Pavo tube right there, which is way cool actually to illuminate the kit from above. That's a professional video light. I love the damn thing. It holds the top camera right there. That's a Blackmagic Micro 4K, which can be controlled from below as well. It holds the overheads with Tri-Orbit Vector, and the overheads are the brand new Lewitt 140 Air stereo matched pair. You could previously get these, but now they have a matched pair. Rather inexpensive, small diaphragm, pointy condenser things. I don't know what it's called. But they are ultra light. So it's super cool for the setup. We were going to put a lav mic on Felix, but working for 5 days, batteries, lav mic, always cabling up. And I don't like the sound of lav mic. So we took one of my Sennheiser MK416s right here, put it at the very end of the Starbird and pointing it in his face right out of shot. That gives us a great vocal sound, and he's not tethered to anything, which is a lot easier. In the back of the Starbird, these walkthroughs are very... Need something to drink. In the back of the Starbird, we have the counterweight, which is of course part of the Starbird, but then I took another GC clamp, I think they're called, with the boom arm to get this caliper, I think it's called, from Light Panels, to create the beautiful back of the head shot right here. That's lighting Felix's back of the head.
Sit down. Show it.
Should we show them? Here we go. That's what that looks like. Well, you have to go there. Okay, so while we're at lighting, let's talk about lighting. Caliper from Light Panels, Pavo Tube 32, I think it's called, killer from Nanlite. We have another caliper on the floor here, and the point of that from Light Panels, the point of that is to illuminate Sir Didymus a little bit more, because Sir Didymus is pretty much the star. This is for shits and giggles. The bass drum camera was not as bright as we wanted, so we added another Pavo tube, the very small one right here. Look at that. Powered with USB. So I got that on a USB power thing. And the great thing about that is they're magnetic. So I just put that there, snaps into place, and that lights up the kick drum pedal. Yeah, a lot of this stuff doesn't happen by accident. You know, we don't want to do all this and all of a sudden the kick drum camera is too dark. Mood lighting, very important. I'm very happy that I'm good friends with the guys at Adam Hall. And I get a deal there. I don't get stuff for free. But I bought these I have 2 of these over in Studio B, but I bought 2 more. These Cameo RGB spots, which are, I think, what, 150, something like this. They're not extremely expensive, plus like $15 for the little stand. And I have them, they're DMX capable. You can do programs, they even can react to music. Right now I just have them on a slow fade to give the background a little bit of color, which I think is kind of important. And we got another one over there lighting up the back of the wall. So while we're at lighting, let's continue. What you shouldn't do, we're actually using my living room lights, which means it is mixed lighting. This is extremely yellow, the rest is all daylight. But if it looks good, it looks good. And it looks good, so it looks good. Okay? Derregels and derregel. Here, we got light panels, Astra 3x3, on these really, really cool gravity stands, which I'm not getting paid for this. I paid full price for this, and I paid dealer price for this. I love these lighting stands from Gravity because they're on these very heavy, massive plates, and you can actually put the boom in 3 different positions: middle, center middle, or corner. And you'll see why that's relevant. But that's lighting from over here. In the middle, you can't see the plate because we have it filled with cables. But the plate's here. The boom goes up pretty much almost against the wall. So instead of having this big tripod thing, which is going to take up a lot of space for the light, and the light then will be not close to the wall, we have this Aperture 300D2 as close as possible to the actual wall, right here. And you can only do that with this Gravity stand, which again is not that expensive. We actually never cranked up the aperture all the way. I don't think we need to. So yeah, that's the 300D with a big ass dome. And over here, same thing, Gravity stand with a light panels Astra 3x3. Over in Studio B, I've got the 6x6, which are brighter, but we don't need it. We're good, looks fine. Tonio, cameras or mics? What are we talking about next? Tonio and the cameras. So, over here, we got the studio camera from Blackmagic, the 4K one, that's filming the hi-hat and the snare. And since we had the lenses left over, we went with the Zine cinema lenses. They cannot be remote controlled, so we can't remote focus or we can't remote aperture, which you usually can with these cameras. That's why you have 2 cables, one's controlling. But if you have the lenses, which are EF, and you have the cheap-ass China KF Concepts, K&F Concepts adapter, why not? Because it looks ridiculous. So that's a 24. Then over here, we have the Canon XF705, which I absolutely love. Very, very good run-and-gun camera, autofocus, super wide, zoomy inniness, XLR. It's a kick-ass camera. It's not cheap, but that's my going out of the house kind of camera. And that's getting us the back shot. And that thing records in HVAC. Oh, we're gonna have to format these cards, I think. Let me see, they're the big-ass ones. Yeah, 512 gig each. So I got a terabyte in here, and it records in HVAC, and it records on those, I think, up to 10 hours. So I think we're good. We're only going to record on the actual camera when we're doing the full tracks, not the actual lesson. So it's very disconcerting when you're so close, but I'm sure you know what you're doing. What? Red. Okay, so we're going to the red, I guess. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're going to this little thing, the Micro 4K, because we really like the wide shot of the kit, but we didn't want to waste the red on the wide shot. We wanted to get a little bit closer. So we mounted onto this Sachtler Flowtech with another Triad Orbit thingy, the Micro 4K with a 12 to 60. I think we zoomed in a tiny little bit. But the tighter shot we're doing with the red Komodo, which has a 35 millimeter Zine on it, focus puller, all that stuff, and that's going out, what's it called? SDI in 4K. If we want to record the tracks, that's probably not going to focus. That's way too close.
No. Sorry.
If we want to record the tracks, we might opt to record on the actual Komodo and just grab that footage, which will be 6K red code raw, which is pretty damn cool. I mean, why not hit the record button when we're doing it? That's the plan. So then we got another micro 4K down here with a 12 to 60. So we got that, the micro 4K up there, and the micro 4K doing the wide shot. And then there's a camera that you don't see, which is getting an amazingly beautiful close-up shot of Felix's face, which is over here. And why is it in the other room? Well, the room is chaos, but it's in the room because it has an 85 on it. And with the 85, you have to be rather far away. And I only have a 16, 24, 35, and 85. Tonio was like, "Where's the 50?" Well, fuck off. They're $1,800 a piece. So let me go there, and Tonio can show you that shot with an actual face in it, because it literally only gets the. No. You have to be there. You have to record the camera. So that's the shot that we're gonna get from outside of the room, actually. Okay. And that's going to be good for, like, just a talking thing and doing a little interview in those segments. That's the cameras, of which we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cameras, plus Tonio is going to man the FX3 that he's holding right now for certain shots, not all the way through, but we're probably going to do some slow-mo stuff. How cool would it be, if it works, to have FELIX LEHRMANN, this amazing drummer, doing a fill, but instead of slowing it down, we film it in slow-mo. That would be cool.
That is so cool. Where do you have this idea from?
Where did I have the idea from? I don't know.
Seeing a drummer doing slow-mo stuff.
I didn't see a drummer do slow-mo stuff.
Never mind.
You mean your video?
No, not at all.
Actually, I didn't have the idea from that. I had the idea from, I have a camera that can do that. That's where I got the idea.
That's a good point.
But Tonio does very nice videos. Check out his band's videos, which you can find at bandsvideos.net.
You're great, I love you.
Bouncing Betty something?
Bouncing Betty.
Bouncing Betty, YouTube. Type in Tonio slow-mo Bouncing Betty video. There you go. Okay, mics. As I said, the Air Stereo Pair, which I'm over here. The Air Stereo Pair from Lewitt. Lewitt MTP 440 on the top snare. Lewitt MTP 440 at the bottom snare. Lewitt, don't ask me what it's called. Over here, it's the Authentica something. They're usually overheads. Under the hi-hat. And look at my contraption. Everything on a tiny little stand. So we got the O2X from Triad Orbit going in these two directions, and then I have an I/O with an OAM and an A1A and an M2. Yes, I know way too much about Triad Orbit. Trust me, way too much. Then we got these Lewitt little things. They're called the Lewitt little thing. The DTP 340 TT. Which, hey Lewitt, why do they have to be this far over the tom? Pascal bitched about that, because he can't really get them. We would like them out of the way more. Lewitt, please maybe change your tom holder thing. It's too much. So, DTP 340 TT, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have the Beat Kit 7, which comes with 3, so they sent me one extra one. And then, wow. And then we have the DTP 640 Rex, which has a dynamic and a condenser capsule on the outside, which we're just tracking. We're not monitoring, but we're tracking because why not? We might grab something that's worth something. And then on the inside, we have another DTP 640 Rex with a dynamic and a condenser. So yes, we're actually tracking 4 channels right there. 4 channels of kick drum. And look at this kick drum mic stand. If you care, I'll tell you, it's a T-Mini from Tried Orbit with an OAM and an A1A holding this mic. And then I've got a big 9 Solutions clamp with a, what's that thing called? Boom arm, actually getting the other 640 Rex into the kick drum. And that can all be achieved with a really tiny setup. And I can actually move this in further. I can change the angle. The only problem is, it costs a freaking fortune. I'm thinking this is close to 550 to 600 euro. Just this freaking stand. I love Tried Orbit to death, but the pricing is completely off the hook and unrealistic. I'm sorry, Tried Orbit, I love you guys so much because look what I can do with your stuff, but the pricing is utterly ridiculous. So, room mics, that's the last thing. Room. Tried Orbit wall mount with an OAM gets me that mic up there in the corner. And I just put a little hook in the corner to let the cable run down. And that gets it nice up high in the air, super wide away from the drums. And then the same thing over here in both mics, I Lewitt 640 TSs, which I think right now we got on cardioid, which is probably good. I don't know if we want to get the reflection off the wall, but we didn't change that, so I'm thinking that's fine. So we have these 8 meter far apart room mics, room, careful, cool, yeah. Because this we didn't see. We didn't secure this enough. I also got from Adam Hall, in addition to the stands and the lights, I bought these cable bridges, which it really feels horrible to spend like 30 or like 39 bucks, I don't know, on one of these dual pieces of plastic. But what are you going to do? I mean, yeah, we're throwing rugs over stuff. Look, I mean, yeah, but this is the professional way to do it. I just don't understand why they have to be so damn expensive. And in this case, the bridges are loaded. Right here, we literally cannot get another cable into these things. Look at this. This is utterly ridiculous. They are loaded to the brim. So for another project, if I wanted more cables going through bridges, I'll need bigger ones. And they're so damn expensive for these stupid things. But I need it to be neat. I need it to be very neat. This is about as neat as you can make it. Did I forget anything? Oh, each of the Blackmagic cameras, they are, of course, remote controllable from downstairs, and for which I'm taking one signal up here, and that signal is any output from the switcher, and I'm splitting that with the distributor. So right here is our Bobby. We're going to call that because the cable going to it is Bobby. And right here, that gets a main signal from downstairs, and that's being distributed to all the Blackmagic cameras, and also one of the monitors. And that means they're all getting the control signal from the switcher, which means they'll be able to remote control the cameras, except for the Red, and except for the Canon, and except for the ones that have the cine lenses on it. So that means not that many. But definitely, for example, the one that's above the drum kit, that's very important to focus that stuff like this. In this, I mean, the focus isn't going to change. So this is what we're doing. We're planning on recording several add-on packs to my drum course, which, if you're watching this at the end of the drum course, you've already bought it and you've seen how amazing it was. I'm meeting Felix tomorrow for the first time. I heard amazing things about him, that he's a super nice guy. We're going to have to spend 5 days doing this. It's going to be cruel and gruesome and so much work. And I wouldn't be able to do it without Tonio, without Robin. What would we have done today without Pascal? I'm so glad I called him last minute, because we would have had to figure out all this routing. And Could we figure it out? I'm gonna say maybe. Maybe. It would have been crazy because we would have had to dive into the manual and audio was his thing. He set it up, done. And it was a long ass day. I thought we'd be done quicker. So this was 4 guys setting up a full day, given the fact that yesterday, this room was already empty and the lights were already set up and some of the cameras were already set up. So it was pretty much a day and a half. But we're ready to go for Felix tomorrow, who's playing with Sarah Connor tonight in Hamburg for some TV show, all Corona safe. If you bought this pack and watched this add-on video, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're amazing. If you're watching this on my channel, get ready for some amazing add-on packs for not a lot of money with the amazing FELIX LEHRMANN on this DW kit in the highest quality that I can shoot in. I can't imagine throwing more people, throwing more knowledge, throwing more high-end gear at this for a drum programming course, which is utterly ridiculous. But it goes along with what I like to do, which is, if you do something, don't half-ass it, whole-ass it. That being said, thanks Tonio for holding the camera. And
Good night.
Good night. I would say animals at the end. Let's say animals at the end. I mean, let's do animals at the end. If you are watching this at the end of the course, you don't know what animals at the end is. But there are some animals at the end, so watch them.
Animals at the end.
Animals at the end. Say it loud.
Animals at the end.
Woo! Woo!
I am desperate for your love. I am calling out to you. Do you hear me and here the feeling comes again. Prepare my mind for battle within. I won't be taken or separated. I take your